Hey. Oh, yeah, my mic's up. There we go. Hey, how's everybody doing? Hey, I did do that right. That was cool. So yeah, I've been testing this sort of thing for a little while now. And finally actually have been able to, get it rolling, which is cool. A little bit of background music. I'll turn that down just a touch. And my mic, yeah, it's all the way up for now. Let me tweak it just a little bit below the table. 1 second. Right about there. Yep, that's about where I want it. Hey, it's good to see you guys. Not literally, but as best as I can. I'm here just because, quite frankly, several things have happened recently. One of the biggest being that I got back from the Fight Laugh Feast conference. That was a little over a week ago. Knoxville was amazing. Getting there and seeing everybody. It was just an absolutely wonderful time. I just thoroughly enjoyed it. Was able to do an interview with Chocolate Knox. It was short, but it was good. And had a random encounter with Garrison Hardy. I was actually recording on my person just for personal reference. And if I was thinking, if I have a great conversation, I can ask someone if I can use it. I only had one other, and it was with Garrison Hardy. Just because I was working so much. It was such an amazing time. But yeah, I'm really jazzed to be on here doing this sort of thing. I figured I would go over some of the things about, housekeeping, where I'm at with the channels, with my brand and all the stuff that's going on. I'm about to start focusing a little bit more on in-person stuff. I have some ideas regarding in-person storytelling I'm going to get into. And starting to do that more, as well as just my Christmas list. Quite frankly, I want to go through that and talk about my plans for not just this office, but for the future. A little bit of the future of my family, a little bit of the future of just where things are going. I've also been putting off doing a Briar Rose / Aurora / Sleeping Beauty episode where I talk about her in particular, mainly because I'm not super familiar with the original tales and versions. I know them well enough, but I'm started researching, and my wife really wants to be a part of that episode, and everything's been crazy busy, so I've kind of put that off for a little bit. Yeah, so I'm just gonna do that. Maybe we'll pull up some poetry and just jam out for a little bit. There's all kinds of things that we can work on. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get to it. Right now I'm going to stick with the chat over here. And if you want to pipe in and say something, it's there and I can see it. And I know I'm looking that way, but that's anyway. But it's there, and I'd love to talk with any of you about whatever's on your mind. Poetry, literature, family stuff, being a dad, all that good jazz. So, starting off, wanted to get to Briar Rose. I already did that. And then the next thing I was going to get to was some of my future plans for storytelling in person. I've been planning out a bunch of different avenues, one of which came to me this past week. I have to do a little more research on it. But here in town, around Augusta, in the town north of us, Evans, they have a really awesome park where they have an amphitheater and all kinds of stuff going on. I'm way too small to be playing that amphitheater, but as far as that goes, I've gone a couple times to this park and a few others, and it always feels awkward. People don't know whether to stop and stare or not. They don't know if you're just playing your tin whistle or telling a poem, or are you yelling at them because you're standing up. It's this weird, awkward thing. And so just for the posture of it and for people to get a little bit more of what's going on, I've started preparing a list of things I'm going to purchase eventually, when funds become available for that. One of which is a stool for myself. Following that, a whiteboard, a small little whiteboard A-frame kind of thing, about, I don't know, yay big, right? Somewhere around there. And be able to put that down, put Yeel's Storyteller or some such nonsense on there. And let me turn this down just a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, so basically just the idea is that I'm creating a semicircle, and I have these wicker placemats where people can come and sit down. They're like placemats you would see at a dinner table, but they're like 13 inches round. They're pretty big. And I'm just hoping it's inviting to people to come and sit while I'm playing, and, you know, have the music stand for my iPad and whatever else. Something that I've also been working on is live scoring my stories. Now, I've gone all kinds of different ways playing with live scoring. I got all my instruments behind me, which you guys have seen many a time. Let me go ahead and switch over to that so you can see a little bit more of that. Yeah, let's do that. Here we go. Transition. Okay, so yeah, I've got all kinds of stuff behind me and stuff that you don't even see because it's up there, you know? I got lots and lots and lots of musical instruments that I can be playing with, and I just, you know, I can play all of them fairly well, but none of them really like fit my needs exactly. One thing that has come really close is GarageBand, playing some of the cinematic strings and some of their automatic chord progressions and things that I can throw in. And then I can play over that with something like a tin whistle. And that's nice and that's handy, but it doesn't always get... I end up spending a lot of time trying to get to the emotion I'm trying to get to by jiggling around. And that can be entertaining in its own right, but I'm a poet first. I'm a musician second. And one of the things that I wanted to work with as far as that goes is the what's it called here? Basically the I wanted to play with the idea of a kind of like DJing mixed with, you know, playing like a tin whistle or a lead instrument over it. I'm going to start taking some scores that I've found that are, you know, royalty free, that kind of a thing. And I'm going to be creating some videos on the channel for this to try and help boost, you know, people who enjoy the music aspect of what I do. And I'm not explaining it super well, but my plan is to take those songs and then play some lead and some other rhythms and things over them, remix it, so to speak. Credit the original artist in the description, etc., and create a 20-minute loop kind of a thing. 20 minutes so that I never run out if I need to run it longer than, you know, an initial poem or whatever. And essentially I can queue up the next emotion song, you know, whatever the change is. And for those of you who know anything about DJing, I can beat mix from one to the other. Beat mixing is when you synchronize the beats per minute. Now, one of the things this kind of locks me down to is a couple of keys, and there might be a little bit of a weird transition when you're going from one key to another, but that's part of the way DJ stuff usually works. There's very little key changing unless you're like super crazy professional level DJing. But, you know, I DJ'd for a long time. I DJ'd from probably about 11, 12 years old with my father, you know, in his business up until I was 24. You know, so I DJ'd a long, long time. And I have a lot of experience with that, and I've learned a lot about that. And so the combination of the two seems to be a really, really cool idea. So let me see here. Anyway, the getting distracted with other things. Live, I feel like I have to keep rambling and talking, and I just need to calm down. I've seen that in how I run lives, and it's something that I need to work on. But anyway, I never pulled this up. There we go. So yeah, text me. Also, you don't have to just use the chat. You can go text me at the number with the hat. That's my real number. Y'all can text me about anything. So that's kind of my plan for live scoring and doing some more live in-person sorts of things, and I am excited about those. I am also excited about doing adding some more additional stuff to the office. My additional build out was really exciting. If you haven't seen the build out, check out the General's Report playlist on my YouTube channel, and I have kind of a walkthrough of how everything works. I'm working on building further, and why don't we go to that? I'm gonna pull it up in a full screen with me in the corner here. And all right, let's see. And then I need to be somewhere. There I am. Let's take that away. Move me over here for now. So now I need to go in here, and I need to this might get a little funky here, folks, so just stick with me here. Let's see, we're gonna go to back here. Okay, I think we've got it. I now have control over this. So we're gonna go to, you know what? Let's go. I am interacting with this, so now I can move back. This is the fun of doing stuff live. Let's go to this while I go ahead and log in really quickly to my Trello boards. That's not. Why is that not interacting? That's interesting. Huh. Odd. Let's work with that. Hold on one moment. I'm gonna go to standby and continue working on this. I'll be right back. Okay, check. I think we're back. Let's make sure that I need to. Let's go main. We're gonna go. Well, almost back. Give me one moment here. We're going to go to single wide screen. We're going to go to me in that corner. There I am. Woohoo! We did it. Okay, so this is my Christmas list, for lack of a better term, you know, things that I'm working toward purchasing as well. Obviously, there's no way I'm going to be getting all of this, but it's one of those things that I just really needed to start putting together. And I'm just going to go through this one here, which is my high to low as far as priority kind of stuff. This is an instrument called an Irish bouzouki. Some people know about these, some people don't. But essentially, I might be able to get a used one at some point, but it is eight strings over 4 courses. That means it's like having a 4-stringed instrument, but they're all doubled. And it has this cool rounded back. It's almost like a lute, but a little bit different. I play almost all of my stringed instruments in sort of this weird Appalachian dulcimer open D, which is really fun, and I can use it more as a lead, but then have all these extra resonant chords and things with it, which is nice. And really easy to play. I can play other ways too. I just prefer doing it this way, particularly when I can have a backing track and I can just jam. So that to me, you know, thinking of a bard, thinking of what a bard is and who he is and what he does, it's just one of those things where I have my backpacker guitar up here. Let me show that real quick. Go to single. Here we go. And yeah, it's up over there. You can see it. And it's good and nice to have. And I can play it like the Appalachian dulcimer kind of thing, but I really want that lute kind of look, but also the sound. I love the sound of doubled strings, particularly when you're playing something as, you know, bright and melodic as the sort of open D Appalachian dulcimer style of tuning that I'm talking about. So let's go back to ye old Trello board and get myself back up here. There we go. Okay, so then I have needed a new phone for quite a while now. I have this cool, wacky LG Wing, but it is super cracked and messed up in all kinds of ways. And so that's one of those things that I'm working toward getting, but you know, we'll see when we get it. I'm only looking at a Note 10 Plus 5G because newer Notes and Galaxy S's are so ridiculously expensive. I've always kind of been a couple generations back on the Note / Galaxy S kind of thing. I'm an Android person because I like to fiddle with my toys. I like to customize and make things, you know, full of potential, to their full potential. I like maximizing things to their full potential. Nothing against Apple, nothing against iPhones, but sometimes they cramp my style, that's all. I have iPads which do not cramp my style, but they can't be a phone. So Behringer UMC, this is going to be super technical for you guys, but I'll try and make it simple. This lets me plug lots and lots of things into my computer in order to have lots and lots of different sounds. Currently I have a Scarlett 2i2, which lets me plug in 2 things into my computer. But this will allow me to have different microphones, you know, plugged in all the time. I can have guests in here. I can have lavalier that I can switch to and not have to plug in and unplug stuff, you know, so I can walk around the room, things of that nature. And it'll be a really big help for music production too. So that's that. Then we'll move on to the next one. This is a really big one for me. This is a smartphone teleprompter. This one can also have, you know, whatever mounted behind it. It can be a real camera. It can be my webcam, which I'll probably continue to use my Logitech C920 because I kind of like the way it looks. And comparing it to even more expensive ones, the way I'm able to make it look in OBS, it's not bad at all, especially as I'm still at 720p. Also, basically you put a smartphone down there and it reflects up into the glass, and you can see through and read, you know, from that smartphone. I would also probably have a separate wireless mouse connected to scroll the way I want to scroll, but it does come with a little Bluetooth scrolly boy thing, so that's fun. We'll see how it goes. I'll test it out if I get it. I had one of these. This is a mobile device repair kit. It's for, you know, really small kind of things, and I loved it, but unfortunately it and almost a third of my cables were stolen from me from the hotel in Knoxville. That was the one thing that was kind of a bummer from the Fight Laugh Feast situation. So I'm looking to replace it, and it's one of those few things that I need pretty soon. Next, same story, or no, not same story. This one, okay, so I currently have, and I could grab a remote camera to show you, but that's going to be really technical, and I don't want to go there. What I have you on right now, camera, and underneath it, I have a phone that kind of gives me sort of this, what do you call it, teleprompter situation, but not really, because I'm looking like just far enough under you that it doesn't really work. Basically, like, it's a weighted stand, and I want to get the weight off of my table because, as you can kind of see, it can wobble pretty easy. And so I'm hoping by removing the weight and getting this instead, which is this standing clamp situation with the removable arm, I will have those options available. And my hope is that this arm here can actually show... I can put a secondary camera of some kind on there and have it hover over my keyboard so you can see me move my fingers. I want to create some kind of live writing situation where you can see my fingers move. So it's a cool concept, cool idea, another cool angle that I'd like to be able to add. Following that, we just have some gift cards, you know, blah, blah, blah. I put this in priority, so, you know, whatever. An auto harp. So auto harps have come down a big time in price. A lot of people are selling their old ones on eBay. And for those of you who don't know, you can press any of these buttons and it pushes down some felt on the bottom of these kind of sticks, right? And it mutes some of these strings, and the ones that it does not mute make the corresponding chord. So it's a fun little thing. Some people play them, you know, kind of cradle them and play them like this. And then some people will, you know, put them on a table and play like this, right? I've always wanted one. I think I could do a lot of cool stuff with it. It's fun. So there's that. A lot of fun instruments on this one. I lost all but one of these. These are USB-C hubs. This allows me to plug things into my MacBook, into phones, into anything with a USB-C port, and I use them for just about everything. Like, I can't even begin to tell you how many things I use them for. If you have one, you know. So that's, you know, not crazy expensive, but I lost all of them but one in the whole situation there. Let me check the chat here for a minute. We haven't checked the chat in a second. Let's see. Oh, maybe I can do a dual view. Hold on one second. Let's try that. All right, dual view. We're gonna go. No, I don't think I have a dual view, but I do have this, which isn't gonna work because it changed to another Trello situation. Yeah, let's just check the chat. Let's do it this way. Let's go back to the single and chat. There we go. Oh, I love that Lewis quote. Know it before. Yep. Thank you, Alexander Robertson. So someone is talking. Sorry I haven't been able to talk back a whole lot. I will try to pull up. Yeah, I got the YouTube chat over here. I'm going to keep track of that one. Let me yeah, why not? We'll pin your comment, Alex. Alexander. Which do you go by, Alex or Alexander? I'd like to know. Anyway, let's get back to the Trello board here, and we will continue on. This is a Siegel Merlin dulcimer. I technically have something like this. We'll go ahead and see that real quick. It is up on that side. No, that side over there. And what it is a 3-string Appalachian dulcimer turned on its side. I call it a dulcitar. Some people call it different things. But basically, they're all kind of the same. These kind of strummy stick things. This one is probably the nicest one I've come across. It actually has 4 strings. They double the melody string, which is the highest string. They double it. And it has a really good resonance, and you know, I'd really like it. It's beautiful. It could also be just as good as an Irish bouzouki, but there's something about that roundedness that's very bard-like that I like. So, I mean, can't ever have too many instruments, right? Especially when you're just a dabbler like me. I am wanting to get a 2 terabyte SSD like this because my laptop currently has a 4 terabyte in it, but the operating system can only, or basically the way you install Windows, it only allows for a 2 terabyte situation. So I'm basically not using 2 terabytes worth of my 4 terabyte drive, and I want to swap it out and use that 4 terabyte externally for syncing of Dropbox and all kinds of other, you know, big files. So next we'll go to our lyre here, and this one, you know, pretty self-explanatory. My middle name is David. I've always wanted a lyre, and I've never had one. If anyone doesn't know, lyre is just, you know, your do re mi kind of notes usually. Some are chromatic, some are diatonic, some are pentatonic. Just depends. You can tune them how you want, but I would love to have a lyre. That's also a very bardy kind of instrument. I'd love to get a subscription to Canon Plus. I love the stuff that those guys do over there. If you don't know, check it out. Cool stuff. More gift cards at different denominators. Okay. Do I have any thoughts on Brandon Sanderson, his books, his writing philosophy, rules of magic? Also, most of my friends call me Alex, but I don't care either way. Okay, so Alex. Let me pull back to here so I can address that specifically, and then we'll get back to the Christmas list. I have not read any of Brandon Sanderson's books. I've heard a lot of people's thoughts on him, and basically what I think his style sort of comes to, as far as I hear it anyway, and like I said, this is all me secondary whatever stuff, so take it with a grain of salt, and I am planning on reading some of his books at some point pretty soon, quite frankly. He sounds to me kind of like a secular Stephen Lawhead meets sort of H.G. Wells. You can tell me if I'm completely off, but I don't know much about his writing philosophy. You can enlighten me and tell me your opinions. I'd really actually love to hear them. I'm trying to find more of a gauge for my expectations going in. So yeah, please let me know what you think, Alex, and we'll, you know, continue the conversation from there. Let's get back to here, and this is a Helusi flute. You've heard one before if you've seen The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe movie. It's not the same. It doesn't look the same as what Tumnus is playing, but this is kind of the sound that they were getting. It's this cool flute that has 2 drones on it, sort of like, and you can play it kind of like a tin whistle. I am generally a fan of drone flutes. I haven't put any Native American flutes on here because I'm not sure which ones to buy, but I'm generally a fan of drone flutes and that sort of a thing, and it's something I don't have that I would really like to get into. I've actually taped some of my different whistles together and made drone flutes, and that's an interesting thing that I have done before. But anyway, so moving on from that one, and this is where I need to get into Brandon Sanderson. This is scribed, or they call it scribed. I've always said scribed. I think it's better to say scribed, but these guys do sort of a Netflix all-encompassing approach to not just audiobooks, but like, and this is not a sponsor, I just really like their business model. They have, what do you call it? Audiobooks, ebooks. I think they're doing some video and just all kinds of other things. And I've really been a fan of them for a while now, and I've dabbled with trials and whatever, and they don't have the full selection, but they have 90% of what I want to look at, and I'm really excited about that. So the question then becomes like, am I gonna get this at some point? I hope so. I would love to have all this extra time to listen to Brandon Sanderson and whatever else comes to pass. So yep, we'll move on to I need more kilts. I'm wearing one now. I'll show you. It's my actually my favorite one. Let's go back to this so you can see. So this one, let me move this up. There we go. So this one is this weird looking rainbowy kilt. It has a whole bunch of different stuff on it, but it's also kind of muted because of its got brown instead. But yeah, I'm a big fan of this one. I got this from the same group here, Celtic Attire, and they do good stuff. Unfortunately, this one is labeled as a LGBT kilt situation, which, okay, fine, whatever, but Jesus had the rainbow first. Let's be real here. Okay, so let's go back to here and put myself back up in that corner, readjust webcam. There we go. And so this is actually one of my closest Scottish ancestors was a MacLean. Her name was Bessie MacLean. She was my great grandmother or great great grandmother, one of the two. All right, we got some more from Alexander Robertson. He said, I'd say that Sanderson has a lot more focus on the world than Lawhead, who seems to be more character focused. Gotcha. He also said some more. He said, I just finished reading the Dragon King saga by Lawhead. I read the King Raven trilogy several years back and read all 22 of Sanderson's Cosmere earlier this year. Gotcha. Yeah, Lawhead does a lot of character work, but he also is very concerned with I don't know how to say it. He's almost Tolkien-esque in his detail of body language and I don't know how else to say it. The character, I mean, it is a giant amount of character work. Like you said, though simply because of the word count, he gets a giant amount of character work in as well. Yeah. I think Stephen Lawhead's best trilogy, a lot of people, disagree with me. A lot of people like Pendragon and others, but the Song of Albion is by far my favorite from him. I'm currently reading through the Bright Empires series, which I believe is a quadrilogy. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things with him. Lawhead is very... the more I learn about him, the more I'm like, man, I'd love to sit and chat with you. He's just this interesting sort of reclusive guy who got in right around the time the whole like Stephen King living in the woods, just writing books kind of a thing sort of got its end in the community of writers and that sort of a thing. And I mean, like, I don't know. He plays rock and roll guitar. He's a cool guy. I like him, and I like not only what he does with his characters, but like he does it in a way that drags you into them, almost like the everyman kind of thing, and yet they're also very detailed. It's not like Joss Whedon, where these characters are so outside of you and different and their own unique personality. There's something of the everyman inside every one of Stephen Lawhead's characters, and also they're super detailed. And I don't know how he does that. It's something that I should study more, but yeah. So anyway, yeah, I need to read Brandon Sanderson. I'm gonna get to it, and I will definitely be doing some generals reports and things on that subject. So let's get back to Trello, the Trello board, and the kilt. There we go. So yeah, the McLean clan, McLean of Duart specifically, which yeah, it's the same tartan basically as the Royal Stuart tartan. They had connections with them. So it's one that I've never had tartan-wise that I would really love to have. I prefer utility kilts that have the saddlebag style pockets too. They're nice to have. I like those better than the traditional sporrans. I don't know why, I just do. It's just more comfortable and easier to put on and take off and less, you know, fiddly. So I have a couple utility kilts here. There's that one, McLeod. I'm not connected with the McLeods, but let's be honest, the yellow is so unique and cool, and I just really would love to have that yellow with the khaki. It just looks awesome. And then this green one here is, I forget what tartan that is. Did they say what it was? Brown. It just says Irish tartan. Okay, so, but yeah, I love that green. I love that brown. I love it together. And my three favorite colors are red, green, and yellow, and I like to mix them and match them. So yeah, those are on my list. The next one I have is a Rode Wireless Go. This is my favorite kind of lav to use. We have two of them at my church, and I'd really love to get one of my own. I don't need the second gen. I just like the first gen. Also, the other thing that's really cool is you can plug in any sound source into this transmitter here. Another lav, or this is the microphone itself. You can plug in any kind of lav, or even like, you know, a phone or an MP3 player or something, and it transfers to here. And there's another on, I think this side, 3.5 millimeter headphone jack that you can actually have it go out to like a mixer or something. So it's a very versatile piece of equipment that I really like. Next is a portable power supply. This one, I don't remember how many amp hours it is, but it can plug into solar. It can, you know, discharge. It has a little flashlight on it. This is basically just, you know, something where I can run a boombox or a laptop for a really long time. Something that I can use for live storytelling. Something that I can put in the car and keep around for emergency situations. You know, it's a versatile piece of equipment to have some real, you know, electricity various places. So I'm not planning on buying any solar panels now, but it would be good to have, and it can charge other ways. So next, tin whistles, any kind. Seriously, if anyone just wanted to send me a tin whistle, that would be amazing. I have so many of them. I should just do a tin whistle tour at some point. But I just love them. I love collecting them. This is a collapsible folding stool that I found, and I've heard very good things about. This one claims up to 400 pounds. I'm around 300 currently, still trying to get that down. So yeah, the fact that it collapses up to such a small size and I can take it with me will be great for those in the park storytelling sessions that I was talking about. Being able to carry and drop it down and go from there. Laminator. Some of you know I don't have any near me right now, but I've been making these little 1x1 business cards that I've been using baseball card holders for. I'd love to start using a laminator and see how it works. Plus there's just so many cool things you can do with a laminator. Let's just be real. Giveaways, QR codes, all that fun stuff. So let's see here. What else do we have going on? I don't think that there has been any Facebook chatting, but let me check it real quick. Doesn't appear so. Nope, no Facebook chatting. All right, alarm going off. Let's see here. I'm gonna make it through this list if I can help it. Slam ball. I want to need something to exercise with. Get that 300 pounds down. You know what I'm saying? It's a big weighted ball that can bounce, basically. It's for CrossFit, but I can use it for, you know, whatever. I like lifting things, okay? Red Dragon Hawaiian shirt. Does this not look like one of the coolest dragon shirts ever? I love these dragon shirts. I wear them quite often. I don't know who makes them. there's who does these designs, but this one's amazing. And you know me, I want red, yellow, and green. I currently have a green and a rainbowy blue one. So ukulele, any ukulele. What do you call them? Gift cards. This is the little A-frame whiteboard that I'm talking about for doing my shows. Put Yield Storyteller or whatever on there. Maybe magnet a QR code to it or something that people can, you know, drop a tip, whatever. Rechargeable AAA batteries. I have this sound recorder that I was using at Fight Laugh Feast, and it lasts about a day's worth of recording and has plenty of room on it for recording. This is something I'd like to do more and more as I continue forward with storytelling, is actually just follow up with the conversations I have on a regular basis and say, hey, remember that conversation we had? Do you mind if I turned it into a piece of content? I think it's a great way to, you know, also go back and listen again if you heard or missed something. It's just a different way of vlogging. You know, a lot of people do the 360 cams and, you know, go on trips and excitement. And I feel like I'm having conversation, might as well be recording it. It's a little easier than doing video. These are the mats I was telling you about. These would be for children and parents to sit on as they come in the park, and they have, you know, 18 of these placed around in a semicircle. Grab a seat. Let's go. Let's tell a story. So I'm hoping that I can either paint or put some kind of, you know, design on it, and do different designs in different colors, like silhouette of a lion or a dragon or a griffin or something like that. That could be fun. Let's see here. Got any more comments? Nope, not so far. Okay, we're going on. Here's the yellow dragon shirt I'm interested in. Here it is. It's not exactly yellow, it's more gold. It's got this map. That was pretty cool. Next one, we have, these are wall mounts for tripods. I want to have some cameras placed around the room for us to use during stream as needed. That would be nice to have some extra views. It's always nice to have some extra views, you know, whatever the case may be. I lost all my capture cards in that thieving that happened in Knoxville. So I'm just looking for a few more. Hopefully, especially to get my Mac, which is over here, connected to my Windows PC so that I can do stuff over here and you guys see it over here. That kind of thing. Also an HDMI splitter for the same purpose. This was a cool idea I have. This is a bandolier, but I want to use it for tin whistles. Basically place my tin whistles in here and carry around whatever strapped stringed instrument on my back for barding out live and in person. Any instruments, I'll take anything, whatever. There's a toy accordion. I've seen a lot of people play with these, and there's a couple companies that make them, but I really like the idea of being able to play chords or lead on one instrument. And I mean, it's an accordion, and apparently these sound really good. The only thing that's cheap about them is the ability to break, and if I take care of it, great, you know, cheap accordion. And obviously a real one's gonna sound better, but you know what I mean. I just want that concertina kind of sound in a form factor other than my melodica. Dremel tool. I've been needing a Dremel for a while. Just, you know, a rotary tool to grind things down. Very helpful. An automaton. This would be a fun thing to break out, you know, to make the kids laugh. Maybe do a story with a duck or something, and this is the duck sound I use. If you have not heard an automaton, go look it up on YouTube. They're these hilariously silly little instruments. Then the smartwatch. Here's a cheap one that I was looking at. I may end up getting my wife's because it doesn't work with her iPhone as well, and I might be getting her. Shh, be quiet. I might be getting her an Apple Watch of some kind for Christmas. We'll see. I don't know. And then gift card. Kalimba. I don't have a Kalimba for whatever reason. It seems like everyone but me has a Kalimba. Really simple thumb piano thingy. Makes a cool sound. And last on the list, I have two iPads, and they are, this is the one I use for switching the stream, using Touch Portal, and it is, you see how cracked that is right there? That's insane. Anyway, let me go ahead and switch it to this one and show you. Turn it around here. Trying to hold it with one hand. Yeah, you see how messed up that is? It's crazy it still works. But I want to replace the screens on them, and it'd be nice to have. Oh, living anachronism. Okay. Alexander Robinson says, have you ever seen any of Living Anachronism's videos? He seems very much like you. His goal is to get people to live the adventure of real life. I imagine you would greatly enjoy his work. I have not, but I will look him up. I'm going to look him up immediately, in fact. Might even watch one of his videos on here. Let's do it on here. And if the stream starts dropping, let me know, like dropping frames significantly. I have not run a lot of... let's not do it that way. Let's not bring up the browser that way. We're going to go to... All right. You know what? If you will wait 1 second, Alexander, because I really want you to be able to see this, I'm going to go check out his video, one of his videos. If you have one, let me know what you'd like me to see. You can drop me a link if it will let you, and we'll go from there. I am going to go to my standby screen again, and I'm going to get this set up. Okay, let's see. I am here, and let's turn down the background music here. Get it muted all the way. There we go. And let's see here. I don't have sound. Okay, yeah, I do need to add sound. Let's see here. Okay. Where is my... Okay, let me do this. And then unhide all. That's the webcam. Okay. Let's add an audio. Wait, no. Play? I don't think so. Oh, I know what to do, I think. Hold on. Wait. Okay. That's what I need to do. I just need to add an audio input capture. Sorry about this. I thought I had it all together. Input capture, default. And... Okay. Why is that? Hold on. I need to delete this. Audio output capture, that's what I need. Default, that should do it.
Greetings, adventurer. My name is Kramer. My job, my passion as an actor is to bring characters and stories to life. Be it LARP, a fair, fantasy reenactment, around the gaming table, sitting at your computer, or in a book you're reading or writing, you have a passion for storytelling. This
Cool.
channel is for you, who love the adventures and stories of Frodo, Aragorn, Geralt of Rivia, Will
That's me.
Treaty, and more, and are ready to add your name or the names of your characters to the annals of history.
All right,
Together,
I like this.
we are unraveling the history of a world that never existed and making fantasy a reality. If you are like me and long for life to be like the adventures of the heroes we read and write about, then you are most
Well, I think
welcome.
it is,
The
but
worlds
that's
are
a whole other
vast, and we've done
philosophical
everything
thing.
From experiments to recipes to crafting and more. We are bound only by the rules of the worlds we choose to explore. You've heard of living history. This is living anachronism.
I think I may have seen him once or twice on some random video I was looking at. This looks cool, man. Thank you for turning me on to that. You said his 45-minute video on defending Tolkien is one of his best and what brought me to his channel, but that one is a bit shorter. Yeah, I was just pulling up the channel trailer just to see what he's about. I'm going to sub to him now while I am talking. Very cool. Man, I dig that. That is nice. That is nice. Let me do that real quick. I'm going to sub to him on my phone here real quick so I don't have to mess with any more settings. Glad I was able to do that. Living anachronism. Yeah, he's got a way more subscribers than I do, though. Still, if he ends up seeing it, that would be cool. Yeah, I'd love to do more collaborations with folks. That would be great. Tell him I sent you. He knows me by my comments. Cool. I will do. I will do. That'd be really nice. Let me get back to single screen here. All right. So, that's mostly what I wanted to go through. Did want to talk a little bit more about like the point of all the going through all the Christmas list a little bit more. Basically, you know, we're still in a place where we're not doing a whole lot financially. We're doing better, and it's getting better every day. Like my regular jobs are getting better and more hours, and it's just been really crazy. Partly why I've decided to go ahead and do just a random video here. I'm wanting to do more live streams like this, actually get into some of my characters and my stories and my plans and my hopes for these sorts of things. I want to do live out in person and hopefully be able to stream that to you guys. Some of the other places besides the park I want to do it is at my church. We're working through that. There's some things that we got to get figured out, liability wise and whatever else. And then the other place that I was thinking of doing it was at some of these other events that have been going on around town. You know, just come and find the crowd and just go with it. And then the other one is flea markets. You know, get myself a table and give out some of my business cards with the QR code on them so that people can go and listen to the stories. I actually ran out of poetry bricks for this week. I'm actually going to do a buy day on today just because I'd rather come at it Monday afresh, especially after a long live stream like this. And I've really been happy with the way the poetry bricks have been coming. I like the format. I think it's spot on. The platforms that it's on aren't 100% there. I like YouTube Shorts and I like TikTok the most. Those two together have been really good. Reels on both Facebook and Instagram have been okay. But it's just one of those things where the cumulative effect of all these different places people can come into the story and then go back and start it from the beginning has been really, really cool. And I'm trying to, I was asked about people who don't listen as well. They're deaf or hard of hearing. And my hope is that they can still use the videos because of the captions. And I'm trying to, I'm making a concerted effort to get the captions right in the future, here going forward and into the future. With that being said, Poetry Bricks, Poets at War, and the General's Report are pretty much here to stay. I want to do more live writing, and I want to do more music and release some of this music for you guys to use, remixed music and, you know, my own sort of stuff as a resource for your own storytelling, whether you're doing, you know, storytelling for your kids, you're producing something or whatever else. I really want to make more music in that regard and just kind of play with the vibes. I want to do covers too. eventually. I would love to do covers and get some people to the channel that way. I really want to do some Sean Noss covers, or my version of Sean Noss singing, which is Irish, sort of like solo a cappella singing, although some people do harmonies. I might do some harmonies, some basic drone, but it's like very minimalistic. Some other stuff like that. Very bardy sort of sounds. I want to kind of stick to that bard sound that's in my brain and probably nowhere else. But thank you, Alexander Robertson, for hanging out with me. Thank you, anyone that I may have missed. I don't think I did miss anyone, but hey, whatever. And this will be interesting to see how it performs as an episode of the General's Report and all that kind of thing. But like I said, I want to do this more. I want to do more hangouts with people and actually have conversations. And I just got to do it. I hope that the production was good on this and not too laggy and whatever else. Alexander stuck around, so hopefully that's the case. But thank you all for watching. Be your family's bard. Do not turn to the right or to the left. And the Lord will be with you wherever you go. We'll see you next time in the trenches on Poets at War. God of song said